Okay, today we're going to learn about the basic elements of a paragraph. In particular, we're going to learn about finding the topic of a paragraph. A paragraph is a series of sentences that are organized and coherent, and all of those sentences are related to a single topic. Typically, a paragraph consists of 4 to 12 sentences. All paragraphs will have 3 basic elements. All paragraphs will have a topic, all paragraphs will have a main idea, and all paragraphs will have major supporting details. Understanding the topic is the first step taken towards understanding a paragraph. The topic of the paragraph is the most general idea. It will be broad enough to include everything discussed in that paragraph, but specific enough to exclude anything not discussed in the paragraph. The ability to identify the topic of a paragraph is closely tied to the ability to distinguish between general and specific ideas. The general idea is the idea that is broad in scope. The specific idea supports, explains, and provides information about the general idea. For instance, the general idea will be birds. The specific ideas actually give me types of birds: robin, blackbird, jaybird, eagle. The general idea will be flowers. The specific ideas will give me types of flowers: rose, daffodil, daisy. The general idea would be the sounds. The specific ideas would be screams, yell, music, whisper. The general idea is related to the topic. Specific ideas are what supports, explains, or provide information about the general idea. And so let's do some practice. Let's look at these groups of terms, and out of these groups of terms, out of this group, identify the one word that is the general idea. Identify the one word that is the general idea. You have chimpanzees, orangutans, apes, and gorillas. If you said apes is the general idea, you are correct. Chimpanzees, orangutans, and gorillas all come from the ape family. Look at number 2. Cirrus, clouds, cumulus, and stratus. Which one of those will be the topic out of the 4? It would be the general idea of the 4. The other 3 would give an explanation of or a type of. If you said clouds, you are correct. Finish 3 and 4. Oats, wheat, and corn are all types of grain. Satin, wool, fabric, and silk. Out of those 4 terms, the most general idea of the topic is fabric. Satin, wool, and silk are different types of fabrics. Let's look at these phrases. Identify the general idea out of the 4 phrases. Remember, your general idea is your topic. You have turn the ignition, press the accelerator, insert the key, start the car. Which one of these would be the topic or the most general idea? The other 3 are given an explanation of or describing. If you said start the car, you are correct. So to start the car, you must turn on the ignition, insert the key first, right? Insert the key, turn on the ignition, and press the accelerator. Look at number 6. Paying fees, buying books, getting your schedule, starting college. One of those will be the general idea or the topic. Remember, your general idea is the same thing as your topic. The other 3 are describing that general idea or giving an example of that general idea. If you said starting college, you are correct. For 4, 7, and 8, you're going to read the terms at the bottom, and you are going to come up with a topic. For 4, 7, and 8, read the terms at the bottom and you come up with a topic. For number 7, if you said doing laundry, you are correct. Number 8, pass the ball down court, dribble the ball, and shoot the ball into the basket. All of those are specific ideas. And so what would be the general idea that will explain, what would be the general idea that governs all of those specific terms? Passing the ball down the court, dribbling the ball, shooting the basket. If you said playing basketball or something similar to that, you are correct. Now, like I said, if you're able to identify the general idea, then you are able to, or that is the first step that you're taking towards being able to identify the topic. Being able to identify the topic of the paragraph is very important because, like I said earlier, it is the first step to understanding a paragraph. I do want you guys to know that the title of a paragraph or reading selection will give you a clue to what the topic is. Remember that the topic of a paragraph is the subject of that paragraph. It is the subject of the paragraph that is most frequently discussed or referred to. The topic will be stated several times throughout the paragraph. The topic is the subject of the paragraph or who or what the paragraph is about. Your topic is who or what the paragraph is about. Remember, it's the subject under discussion. It will be mentioned several times throughout the paragraph or the essay. The topic can be a word or a word phrase. It is not a complete sentence. And you guys need to know that your topic is totally different from your main idea. The topic is not the main idea. The topic is the subject under discussion. It's a word or word phrase that tells what the reading is about. So let's read these 3 paragraphs and identify the topic. Paragraph 1. Excuse me. Paragraph 1. Passing fears are common in every childhood. Many 2 to 4-year-olds are afraid of animals, especially dogs. By 6 years, children are more likely to be afraid of the dark. Other common fears are thunderstorms, doctors, and imaginary creatures. Okay, what is the topic of this paragraph? Is it fears? Passing fears, 2 to 4-year-old fear of animals, or dark? We're going to go with passing fears. Fears is too broad. What type of fear? Fear of spiders, fear of heights, common fears throughout childhood, common fears for adults. What type of fears is discussed in this paragraph? If you would read, passing fears are common in early childhood, and then the paragraph gives you types of passing fears: being afraid of animals, being afraid of the dark. And other common passing fears are thunderstorms, doctors, and imaginary creatures. Okay, so the topic of this paragraph is passing fears. Next, let's read paragraph 2. Congratulations, you have been offered a job. The time has come to negotiate your salary. The question you ask yourself is, how much am I worth? When you ask yourself that question, why? You're asking yourself that question because you're trying to negotiate your salary, right? Your answer will likely affect the outcome of your salary negotiation. The point is, in order to negotiate the best possible salary, you must convince yourself and the employer of the value you will bring to the job. So what is the topic of this paragraph? What is this paragraph about? Is it about congratulations? Is it about the value to the job? Is it about asking yourself how much you are worth? Or is it about negotiating the best possible salary? Remember, your topic is who or what the paragraph is about. It is most frequently mentioned throughout the paragraph, and everything else supports, explains, or provides information towards that topic. Okay, so what is most frequently mentioned throughout the paragraph, and what is this paragraph about? If you say negotiating your salary, you are correct. You guys are going to read the last paragraph on your own and identify what you think the topic is. If you said discrimination against Mexican Americans in California, you are correct. Remember that a paragraph must have 3 elements: a topic, a main idea, and major supporting details. Now we're going to cover main ideas and major supporting details. The main idea is the author's controlling point about the topic. You guys need to know that the topic and the main idea are 2 different things. The topic is the subject under discussion. It is who or what the paragraph is about. However, the main idea is the controlling point that the author is making about the topic. It's the overall point of the paragraph. The main idea must always be a complete sentence. Okay? And the main idea will never be a question. To identify the main idea, you need to ask yourself 2 questions. What is the topic? And what is the point that the author is making about the topic? There are 2 types of main ideas. The first type is the stated main idea. The stated main idea is when a sentence in the paragraph is the main idea. The stated main idea is when a sentence in the paragraph actually states the main idea. This sentence is known as the topic sentence. So your topic sentence is the sentence within that paragraph that states the main idea. Okay? So is your main idea the same thing as your topic sentence? Yes, it is. Your topic sentence equals your main idea. You guys need to know that. A lot of students get confused about that. Topic sentence equals the main idea. Your topic sentence is actually a sentence in the paragraph that states the main idea. There are clue phrases that will help you identify the main idea. When you see phrases that indicate a listing, like several reasons, 5 causes, 3 types, different ways, 4 kinds, those sentences indicate those phrases indicate that that sentence is the main idea. Okay, you need to know that your main idea sentence can be found anywhere in a paragraph. It can be at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. Okay, so let's do some practice. And remember that your topic is the subject under discussion, and your main idea is what the author is saying about the topic. Okay, so let's read the paragraph that we read previously. Passing fears are common in early childhood. Many 2 to 4-year-olds are afraid of animals, especially dogs. By 6, children are likely to be afraid of the dark. Other common fears are thunderstorms, doctors, and imaginary creatures. So we said that the topic is passing fears. What is the author saying about passing fears? Your main ideal is like an umbrella, and everything will go under that main idea, and it will support that main idea. It will provide examples of that main idea. It will give more information about the main idea. Okay, and so which one of these sentences, A, B, C, or D, or really which sentence in this paragraph gives you the main idea? If you said the last sentence, other common fears are thunderstorms, doctors, and imaginary creatures, you are incorrect. If that sentence was the main idea, the other sentences in the paragraph will give further information about thunderstorms, doctors, and imaginary creatures being childhood fears. So that sentence is not the main idea. And remember, your main idea must be what the author is saying about the topic. What is the author saying about passing fears? If you said passing fears is common in early childhood, you are correct. And the author is actually giving you examples of how passing fears are common in early childhood. Early childhood, 2 to 4 years of age, are afraid of animals, especially dogs. 6 years is a part of early childhood. Children are afraid of the dark. And then they give other common fears from early childhood: thunderstorms, doctors, and imaginary creatures. Let's look at the next paragraph that we went over. Congratulations, you have been offered a job. The time has come to negotiate your salary. The question to ask yourself is, how much am I worth? Your answer will likely affect the outcome of your salary negotiation. The point is, in order to negotiate the best possible salary, you must convince both yourself and the employer of the value that you will bring to the job. Remember, we said that the topic is negotiating the best possible salary. So your main ideal is, what is the author saying about negotiating your salary? B is correct. Congratulations is an interjection. That's not your main idea. You have been offered a job. This is more like an opening sentence. The other sentences will support the main idea, provide more information about the main idea. Are the other sentences talking about you being offered a job, or are the other sentences discussing negotiating your salary? The other sentences actually talk about negotiating your salary. So sentence 3 is your main idea sentence. Now, if you can pause this, read this paragraph. Remember that discrimination against Mexican Americans in California is your topic. Your main ideal is, what is the author saying about discrimination against Mexican Americans in California? Remember, your main ideal is simply what the author is saying about the topic. So pause this and decide which sentence is your topic sentence. Remember, your topic sentence is the same thing as your main idea. If you said sentence 1, in California, Mexican Americans were outnumbered and vulnerable to discrimination, is the main idea, you are correct. And the other sentences give examples of how they were discriminated against. In the early years of the gold rush, they were robbed, beaten, and lynched without impunity. That means they were robbed, beaten, and lynched without any help from law enforcement. Lynched is hung. So these are examples of them being vulnerable to discrimination. In 1850, the foreign miners tax imposed a $20 a month tax on Mexican American miners. Okay, even though they were granted citizenship, they still had to pay a monthly tax. This is another example of discrimination. Many Mexicans were forced to sell land to pay this large tax. Okay, another example of discrimination. So sentence 1 is your main idea. If you guys would, let me go back here. I made a boo-boo. You have about 3 paragraphs that I would like for you all to pause the, or just 2. You have 2 additional paragraphs that I would like for you guys to pause this video and decide what the topic is. And based on what you decide the topic is, select what will be the topic sentence in the paragraph. Remember that your topic sentence is your main idea, and the definition of a main idea is the overall point that the author is making about the topic. So pause this video and complete 4 through 7 for me, please. If you said that the topic is hard being a celebrity, you are correct. And the main ideal is sentence 1, being a celebrity is very difficult. The other sentences are telling you how being a celebrity is difficult. First of all, celebrities have to almost look perfect. Okay, they have to sacrifice their personal lives. Celebrities are in constant danger of the wrong kind of attention. These are all sentences that are supporting why being a celebrity is difficult. Okay, and for the next paragraph, the topic is why people lie, reasons people lie. And so your main ideal is people lie for different reasons. And then the rest of the sentence actually provide reasons why people lie. People lie to avoid hurting someone's feelings. People lie to avoid getting into a fight or a misunderstanding. In addition, people lie to avoid spending more time with someone. Okay? And so hopefully you all now understand better how to find the main idea of a reading selection. Remember, whatever the main idea sentence is, all the other sentences will support, explain, and provide more information about the main idea sentence. The other type of main idea is called the implied main idea. Remember I said that there were 2 types of main idea. One was the stated main idea, when a sentence in the paragraph actually states the main idea, and that sentence is the topic sentence. So yes, the topic sentence is your main idea. Well, not all paragraphs have a topic sentence. Sometimes the topic sentence must be inferred or implied. There's no topics, sometimes the main idea must be inferred or implied. This means that there is no topic sentence. All the sentences in that paragraph are actually supporting that implied main idea. An implied main idea is not stated directly, but is suggested. It is like a summary of the reading passage. Okay? So let's practice finding the implied main idea. Marcellus walks 2 miles every day. Marcellus works out in a gym 3 times a week. Marcellus doesn't drink sodas or eat candy. Marcellus gets 8 hours of sleep every night. All of these are sentences that support or provide more information about the main idea. And so what would be the main idea sentence of that selection? Would it be A, B, C, or D? If you said Marcellus is taking care of his body, you are correct. There's really nothing to indicate that he is in great shape. All of these are ways that he's taking care of his body. There's nothing to indicate that he's trying to lose weight. Sleeping, getting 8 hours of sleep every night isn't really conducive to losing weight, although the other 3 sentences are. So we wouldn't say that he's trying to lose weight. Marcellus training for a sport. What type of sport is he training for? Are any sentences actually telling us that he's training for football or cross-country running? No. These may be things that you do when training for a sport, but there's nothing in this particular series of sentences that indicate that he's training for a sport, and it doesn't even name a sport. Marcellus is in great shape. Although these particular activities are conducive to being in great shape, we don't know when he started this, so we don't know if he's in great shape or not. But we know that all of these activities are activities that you do to take care of your body. Let's do number 2. They selected necessary clothes and toilet articles for their aunt. They kept family pictures to hang on the walls. They sold her house and all of her furniture. They visited several nursing homes and spoke to doctors. What would be the implied main idea of these sentences? If you said that they're preparing to put their aunt in a nursing home, you're correct. The family is moving their aunt. Yes, they are. But the sentences actually indicate nursing home and spoke to doctors where they probably will be moving the aunt. So it goes a step further. The family is preparing a family photograph album. Nothing in here other than they kept pictures hanging on the walls says anything about photographs. The family is planning their aunt's funeral. Nursing homes and speaking to doctors. These are activities that not really you're planning a funeral, but you're planning on putting her in a nursing home. Once again, and let me make this so to be so you can see it. So you can see all of the paragraphs for practice. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so let's read these the first 2 paragraphs and answer the questions. Once again, I'm gonna ask that you pause this video in order to get practice in finding the implied main idea. If you said that the topic is leadership styles, you are correct. Remember I told you that when finding the topic, it's a good idea to look at the title. The title of a reading selection would definitely give you a clue to the topic. So the title here is leadership styles, and so that title lets you know that this paragraph is about leadership styles. And so what is the main idea of this paragraph? Okay, and so do you know that there are different types of leadership styles? This is an opening sentence that prepares the stage for the main idea and reading the paragraph. We know that the main idea is not stated, so you must infer it or imply it. And so the sentence talks about autocratic leaders. And I'm not going to read this for you, but it talks about different types of leaders. And so you know that whatever the main idea sentence is, it must include the 3 different types of leadership styles. And so if you answered B, you are correct. So remember, whatever the main idea is for this particular paragraph, it must be the point that the author is making about leadership styles, and B is correct. For the next one, there are different types of fiction writing. That's correct. Because this particular paragraph really didn't say anything about nonfiction. And so for it to be a part of the main idea, the other sentences in the paragraph must discuss it or give more information about it. And so nonfiction was not even discussed in this paragraph, so you know it wouldn't be a part of the main idea, because the rest of the sentences in the paragraph will always explain or provide more information about the main idea. And so the rest of the sentences in this paragraph actually gave you information on the different types of fiction writing. Novels, short stories, dramas, fairy tales, and fables. Okay, dramas is the most common. The paragraph didn't even say anything about drama being the most common. It did say drama was another example of fiction writing. Now, if that was the main idea, the paragraph would only talk about dramas, but it didn't. It talked about the other types of fiction writing, novels, short stories, drama, fairy tales, and fables. Okay. And the main idea here, remember question can never be the main idea. And so C is your main idea. So the three elements of your paragraph: topics, main ideas. There are two types of main ideas: the topic sentence and implied main ideas, and major details. All paragraphs will have major details. Major details are directly related to the main idea. The major details in the paragraph will specifically point to the main idea. Major details would explain, support, and provide further information about the main idea. Major supporting details are sometimes introduced by words and phrases, like in addition, first, also, second, another, next. If you see, like, if a sentence begins with the first type of, another type, example, in addition, you know that those sentences are major details. And we're going to do some brief practice because I have another video that explains major details in detail. Okay, so we have 4 to 5 ideas or sentences here, and we're going to determine whether or not these ideas are will be the topic, the main idea, or the major supporting details. Okay, and so there are 5 stages of sleep people experience. In stages 1 and 2, the eye movements slow until they completely stop. In stages 3 and 4 are referred to as deep sleep. 5 stages of sleep. Now this is your topic. Remember, your topic can be a word or word phrase. And so this is your topic. So you need to ask yourself, what is the author saying about the 5 stages of sleep? This is your main idea. There are 5 stages of sleep people experience. And these are your major details because they actually give examples of the 5 stages of sleep. So I put MJ for major. Okay? Remember, major details will give examples of or provide more information about the main idea. The main idea says that there are 5 stages of sleep. Your major details here in these set of ideas actually provided you the first 4 stages. Okay? And so if you guys would do this, pause the video again and complete this set of ideas. Identify the topic, the main idea, and the major details. You will only have one topic, you will only have one main idea, but you will have more than one major detail. So go ahead and pause the video and complete the activity. Phobias is your topic. What is the author saying about phobias? That there are 3 common types of phobias. 3 common types is your clue phrase that this is the main idea, and your major details will actually state the 3 common types of phobias. So this is a major detail that gives you one type of phobia: agoraphobia, fear of public places; claustrophobia, a fear of small confined spaces; and acrophobia, a fear of high places. Okay? Now, most paragraphs have minor details. Major details support the main idea. All paragraphs will have major details. Okay? However, for paragraphs to really be significant, you must have minor details. But not all paragraphs have minor details. You guys do need to remember that. Minor details support the major details. Major details are more important than minor details. Like I said, you all will click on the next video or review the next video to learn more about major supporting details.